Alright, so I have my research here, and I want to look at my house that I'm working with. And I'm going to add more bats and stuff in a little bit, but this is what I got so far. Ta-da! Alright, so we've got Adam's Family House. I haven't finished the windows, but I'm well on my way. And I'm going to add this kind of scraggly looking tree in here because it needs something. There's a lot of space. So I'm going to go ahead and look at this tree here. Notice how the widest part of this tree is towards the ground. And I've kind of talked about this in class a little bit. So, and all my branches are going to make Y's and V's. Okay, so Y's and V's. And I'm going to start wide with my roots. Roots go right into the ground, and then this is going to kind of come up, and we've got some knots. And I'm just going to follow one of these branches up towards the sky. Now, the wigglier, the better, right? And my branches are going to have branches, and it's going to kind of get wider and wider and wider and wider and wider towards the ground. Here we go. And I'm going to add these V's are the roots that are going into the ground. Now I'm going to add more branches to my branches. Okay, again, they're getting wider towards the edge of my tree. Now, anybody who's a homeowner knows that you never ever want tree branches towards your house because it does damage. But that's perfect with these old houses because a lot of them are decrepit. They've been ignored through the years. Those old Victorians take a lot of upkeep. Unfortunately, because they're kind of money pits, they're expensive to take care of all that stuff. A lot of them went through economic downturns and have gotten ignored through generations of passing them on from owners to children and so on and so forth. Okay, so I'm just going to keep balancing this thing out where it needs something. I'm going to just throw in another scraggly looking branch. And then once I feel pretty good about this, then I'm going to go ahead and start to ink this. Okay? Now to ink it, you want both thick and thin pens. I find I'll do a bulk of my work with my thick kind of Sharpie-ish Bic pen. Call them Sharpies, but they're not Sharpies because Sharpies are stinky and they kind of dry out. Whereas these are a fraction of the cost, and I find they work just as well. And again, this has another branch that kind of comes up and then breaks towards the house. Now I'm just going to, I'm not even going to bother painting this in. I can just use my own pen. And we know those roots go right into the ground. That's where they get the nutrients from. Alright. Now some of these pens are drying out where people have been overlaying them on kind of powdery tempera. So you may have to use them almost on the side. But that's perfect for this activity because anytime you use like an irregular surface, like the side of a pen to fill in, it's going to add a little bit more character. It's going to look a little bit more knotty. Because these old trees, they have knots and thick areas in kind of unpredictable ways. It's what gives them like this appearance of being kind of old and almost, if you watch Sleepy Hollow, there's like this evil tree. It's kind of like that where it's super full of spirit from being around for a really long time. Think of this tree as like an old friend that's seen a lot of things. Okay, so have fun with that. Fill it in. I'm going to keep working. If you need littler, scraggly little parts, you know, you can just add them in here and there. Any of that stuff is good. Alright. You'll see mine up. I'll leave this here and there. Anytime you can add lots of broken kind of things, it's gonna give this more character. You could even add a face in there. How cool is that? I should have thought about that before I started to fill this in. You could put little, I think one of my sketches had little eyes. There was like a knot, an old hollowed out area with eyes peering out of it. That's cool. I think when I'm back, I'll bring out some silver and gold pens and some like different metallics, so that if you need to like add some little highlights here or there, it would be totally cool. All right, have fun. Trees make Ys and Vs. Branches have branches. Wider at the roots, wider at the ground, skinnier as they go up. All right, adios. See you soon. Be good. And happy Halloween. Be safe if you go out trick-or-treating. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.